If you're over 60 and waking up to 3, sometimes even 4 times a night to pee, let's pause right there. You might think, that's just aging, right? Wrong. What if I told you your body isn't failing, it's asking for help? And, more importantly, the answer might not be in another bottle of pills, but in your grocery bag. Most seniors don't realize this, but nocturia, the medical term for frequent nighttime urination, often has more to do with what you eat than your age. Yes, it's common, but that doesn't mean it's normal. Here's what might be happening. Your kidneys may be working overtime due to inflammation. Your blood sugar might be spiking after dinner and waking you up. Or your bladder may be getting false signals because it's irritated, swollen, or lacking key nutrients. And the incredible part, simple vegetables, yes, the ones you've seen your whole life, can help calm all of that. These aren't miracle pills or exotic roots flown in from halfway across the globe. They're real, whole foods backed by science that support your kidneys, bladder, blood vessels, and nervous system. In today's video, I'm going to show you 7 vegetables that help your body filter fluids efficiently, balance sodium and potassium, calm an overactive bladder, reduce inflammation, and even support deeper, more restful sleep. Each one has research behind it, and I'll show you how to easily add them to your meals. No complicated diets, no fads. So if you've been waking up groggy, frustrated, or even a little hopeless, grab a notepad, pour a glass of water, and get comfortable. Let's explore what your body's been trying to tell you and how a few vegetables might finally help you sleep through the night again. Let's start with something simple. The cucumber. It might seem like just water and a green shell, but don't underestimate it. Cucumber is more than 95% water, and that matters more than you might think. As we age, our sense of thirst declines. Many seniors don't drink enough water throughout the day, which leads to a kind of hidden dehydration. And when your body doesn't get the fluids it needs during the day, your kidneys try to make up for it at night. That's why so many people over 60 wake up 2 or 3 times to urinate, even if they barely drank water before bed. But here's where cucumber becomes your ally. According to a study published in the journal Nutrition Reviews, mild dehydration is one of the most underdiagnosed causes of sleep disruption in older adults, often leading to nocturia and restless sleep cycles. Cucumbers are not just hydrating, they contain cucurbitacins, natural compounds with mild diuretic effects. Unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, which can be harsh and overwork the bladder, these compounds help your body flush excess fluids more gently. Cucumbers also provide potassium, a mineral that helps balance the effects of sodium in your body. Does that matter? Well, high sodium intake is directly linked to fluid retention and nocturia. A Japanese study from 2017, published in the Mayo Clinic Proceedings, found that reducing sodium intake significantly lowered nighttime urination in older adults. And potassium helps your body release that extra sodium, naturally, another bonus. Cucumbers help reduce swelling in the legs and ankles, which many seniors experience during the day. That swelling or peripheral edema can shift when you lie down at night, sending fluid back into circulation and triggering bladder urgency during sleep. Here's how to use cucumber strategically. Slice half a cucumber and add a pinch of sea salt and lemon juice. Eat it in the early evening, about 2 to 3 hours before bed. You can also infuse cucumber slices in a jug of water and sip it throughout the day. This simple practice helps you stay hydrated the right way during the day, not at night. So, instead of waking up at 2 a.m. with urgency, your body has already done its fluid work before bedtime. Cucumber isn't a miracle cure, but it's a smart, natural tool, and when used consistently, it can bring a real shift in how your body handles hydration. And once hydration is in balance, the next piece of the puzzle is blood sugar, because what you eat at dinner could be silently waking you up at night. Let's talk about a vegetable that helps stabilize that and might be sitting in your fridge right now. Let's move on to a vegetable that often gets overlooked, but might be one of your greatest allies for nighttime peace. Zucchini. It's soft, easy to cook, and incredibly versatile. But what most people don't know is how effective zucchini is for blood sugar balance and how that connects directly to nocturia. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. When you eat a meal high in refined carbohydrates or sugar, especially at dinner, your blood glucose can spike. Your kidneys then work harder to remove that extra sugar by filtering it out through your urine. And since glucose pulls water with it, this process leads to increased urine production, often during the night. In a large cohort study published in Diabetes Care 2013, researchers found that elevated post-meal glucose was significantly associated with increased nighttime urination, even in people without diagnosed diabetes. That means even a slightly unstable blood sugar level can trigger those 2 a.m. wake-ups. So where does zucchini come in? Zucchini is low in carbohydrates and has a glycemic index of just 15, meaning it has minimal impact on your blood sugar. It's also rich in soluble fiber, which slows digestion and helps stabilize glucose levels after eating. Plus, zucchini contains high amounts of potassium and magnesium, two minerals that support vascular health and improve how the body manages fluid retention and insulin. Sensitivity, there's more. According to a paper in the journal Nutrisense 2020, potassium-rich vegetables like zucchini may enhance renal sodium excretion, which means they help flush out excess salt without placing stress on your kidneys or bladder. This effect supports healthy blood pressure and fluid balance, both of which are essential for sleeping through the night. And unlike many high-fiber foods that can cause gas or bloating, zucchini is gentle on the digestive system, perfect for seniors dealing with slow digestion or IBS symptoms. Want a simple way to include it? Try spiralizing zucchini into noodles, also called zoodles, and saute them lightly in olive oil with garlic. Top it with grilled chicken or a scoop of lentils for a blood sugar-friendly, satisfying dinner that won't trigger that midnight bathroom trip. You can also roast zucchini slices with thyme and a drizzle of lemon, or bake it into savory muffins for a light evening snack. When eaten in the early evening, zucchini supports your blood vessels, regulates insulin spikes, and keeps your kidneys from going into overdrive while you sleep. It's a simple vegetable, but one with powerful, quiet benefits. Now, blood sugar and hydration are critical. But what if the real reason you're waking up to pee has more to do with your nervous system? Let's explore a leafy green that can calm your nerves and your bladder. Most people think of spinach as just another leafy green. But when it comes to managing nocturia, spinach may be one of the most powerful foods you can eat. Let's start with a mineral that's missing in nearly 70% of adults over 60, according to data from the National Institutes of Health. Magnesium plays a key role in over 300 processes in the body. But the ones that matter most here are bladder muscle regulation, nerve relaxation, and sleep support. A deficiency in magnesium can lead to bladder hyperactivity, meaning the nerves that control your bladder become more excitable, triggering that sudden, urgent need to go feeling even when your bladder isn't full. A study published in Urological Research 2003 demonstrated that oral magnesium supplementation significantly improved symptoms of nocturia and urge incontinence in older adults, especially women. Why? Because magnesium helps relax the muscle, the muscle that contracts when you urinate. When this muscle is too tense or overactive, you experience frequent or urgent urges to pee. Spinach, rich in natural magnesium, helps calm that muscle down gently and naturally. But that's not all. Spinach is also loaded with potassium, balances sodium, and reduces fluid retention fiber, helps regulate digestion, and blood sugar. Antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin reduce inflammation. This combination makes spinach a triple threat. It soothes the nervous system, supports kidney function, and reduces silent inflammation that may be irritating your bladder lining. And don't forget the blood sugar connection. Poor glycemic control is a known contributor to nighttime urination, and spinach helps flatten post-meal glucose curves, especially when eaten alongside healthy fats or proteins. Here's how to add spinach isolate to your day. Toss a handful into your morning omelet, add it to soups or lentil stews, saute with garlic and olive oil as a dinner side, or blend into a smoothie with banana, flaxseed, and almond milk. One note of caution: spinach does contain oxalates, which in large amounts may affect people prone to kidney stones, but cooked spinach or pairing it with lemon juice helps reduce oxalate absorption significantly. So, used wisely and consistently, spinach becomes a gentle healing tool, especially for those dealing with both bladder irritation and trouble sleeping, and if you've been feeling tight, restless, or wired at bedtime. Your body might just be calling out for more magnesium. Now that we've addressed the nerves, let's move deeper into the realm of inflammation, a hidden driver of many bladder issues. And for that, there's one vegetable that stands tall. When it comes to fighting chronic inflammation, few vegetables are as powerful or as misunderstood as broccoli. Yes, it's a childhood dinner table villain for many. But what most people don't know is that broccoli contains one of the most researched anti-inflammatory compounds in nutrition science, sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a natural phytochemical found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts. It's been studied for its role in detoxification, immune regulation, and cellular protection. But what's most relevant here is how it affects the urinary tract. In a 2021 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, researchers found that sulforaphane helped reduce markers of oxidative stress in the bladder and kidneys, specifically lowering inflammatory cytokines that can irritate the bladder wall and lead to urgency and frequent urination. Inflammation in the bladder lining is often silent. You don't feel pain, but it causes hypersensitivity, so even small amounts of urine trigger that need to go feeling sulforaphane helps calm that reaction. It works by activating the NRF2 pathway, a cellular process that reduces inflammation, protects tissues, and supports natural detoxification in the kidneys. Broccoli is also packed with vitamin C, supports immune health and tissue. Repair fiber promotes gut health, which indirectly calms bladder activity. Folate and potassium help with fluid regulation and blood pressure. Here's the interesting link. Studies like the one published in Molecules 2020 show that broccoli's anti-inflammatory effects aren't limited to the urinary tract. They also benefit the gut, which is closely connected to bladder health, through what's known as the gut-bladder axis. When your gut microbiome is imbalanced, it can send inflammatory signals to your bladder. A link seen, especially in older adults, by supporting both your digestion and inflammation control. Broccoli becomes a 2-for-1 healing tool. Here's how to enjoy it without the bitterness. Steam broccoli lightly for 4 to 5 minutes. This preserves sulforaphane. Toss it with lemon juice and olive oil to enhance absorption or roast. It intelled crispy with garlic and black pepper. For a flavorful side pro tip, add a pinch of mustard powder after cooking. Why? Because sulforaphane is activated by the enzyme myrosinase, which is deactivated by heat. Mustard powder reintroduces that enzyme and reactivates the anti-inflammatory power. If you've been dealing with bladder irritation, urgency, or general inflammation, broccoli is one of the most accessible research-backed solutions you can. Eat several times a week, and when inflammation calms down, your body finally gets the chance to rest. Instead of reacting all night, now that we've talked about inflammation, let's shift focus to bladder lining protection, because your internal defenses may be weaker than you think. And for that, we turn to a vegetable you probably know well, but never imagined could help your urinary health: the humble carrot. Carrots are often praised for improving eyesight, but what most people don't realize is that they're also powerful allies for your urinary system, especially the bladder lining. Here's the thing: the inside of your bladder is lined with a special mucosal layer. This layer acts as a protective barrier, preventing irritation from urine, bacteria, and inflammatory compounds. But as we age, this lining can become thin, dry, or damaged, leading to increased sensitivity, urgency, and that frustrating feeling of "I have to go," even when your bladder isn't full. Now, this is where carrots shine. Carrots are one of the richest sources of beta-carotene, a pigment that your body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient critical for maintaining healthy mucosal tissues throughout the body, including the bladder. In fact, a review published in the journal Nutrisense 2019 found that vitamin deficiency in older adults was associated with epithelial degeneration. That's science speak for weakened tissue lining in areas like the bladder, lungs, and gut. Vitamin helps regenerate and strengthen this internal barrier, which means fewer false urgency signals and less irritation during the night. But that's not all carrots offer. They're also naturally hydrating, low in calories, and contain polyurethanes, plant compounds with proven antimicrobial properties. According to research published in Food Chemistry 2020, these compounds help calm low-grade inflammation in the bladder, while also supporting the immune system's ability to fight off recurring urinary tract issues. Plus, carrots support your gut health. And as we discussed earlier, a healthy gut is directly connected to bladder function through the gut-bladder axis, an emerging area of study showing that digestive imbalance can trigger urinary symptoms in older adults. So by supporting your gut and your bladder lining, carrots work on multiple levels to help reduce nocturia. How to enjoy them? There are so many easy options. Grate raw carrots into salads or wraps. Roast them with rosemary, olive oil, and garlic. Blend them into creamy soups with turmeric and ginger, or enjoy them raw with hummus as a gentle evening snack. And here's a fun fact: when carrots are lightly cooked, the beta-carotene becomes even more bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs more of it. So don't be afraid to cook your carrots. Just keep them from getting mushy, and pair them with a bit of healthy fat, like olive oil, to enhance nutrient absorption. Small, consistent amounts, especially at dinner, can help restore and protect your bladder lining over time. You may not feel the difference overnight, but within weeks, many people report fewer urgent trips to the bathroom and more comfort during the night. And when your bladder lining feels safe and protected, your brain gets the message. You can rest now. Now let's move to something a bit heartier, a root vegetable that not only calms your kidneys, but also helps your body manage fluid the right way. We're talking about the golden potassium-rich powerhouse, sweet potatoes. When you think of comfort food, sweet potatoes probably come to mind. They're warm, filling, and naturally sweet, but beneath that cozy flavor is a nutritional powerhouse that directly supports your kidneys, bladder, and fluid balance. Let's talk about potassium. Potassium is one of the most important minerals for older adults. It acts as a kind of sodium balancer, helping your body eliminate excess salt and regulate blood pressure and hydration. And sweet potatoes are among the richest sources of natural potassium, with over 540 milligrams in a single medium tuber. That matters because excess sodium is one of the leading causes of water retention in seniors, and that extra fluid often builds up in your legs and feet during the day. But here's what most people don't know. When you lie down at night, gravity no longer keeps that fluid in your legs. Instead, it returns to your bloodstream, travels through your kidneys, and ends up in your bladder, waking you up to pee. This process is called nocturnal fluid redistribution, and it's a major hidden cause of nighttime urination in older adults, especially those with heart or circulatory issues. A 2014 study in BMC Geriatrics found that improving potassium intake in seniors helped significantly reduce nocturia. Potatoes shine. Not only do they help balance sodium, but they also contain complex carbohydrates, which digest slowly and keep blood sugar stable throughout the night. Remember, blood sugar spikes, especially after dinner, lead to more glucose being filtered by your kidneys, which pulls water with it, triggering extra urination during the night. By replacing refined carbs, like white rice or pasta, with sweet potatoes, you're giving your body a steady source of energy without the glycemic roller coaster. But the benefits don't stop. Their sweet potatoes are rich in fiber, which helps digestion and gut health, and contain antioxidants like beta-carotene and anthocyanins that fight inflammation throughout the body, including in the bladder walls. In fact, research published in the journal Food and Function 2016 found that anthocyanins from purple and orange sweet potatoes showed significant anti-inflammatory effects in kidney and bladder tissues. So yes, that orange root on your plate is quietly doing a lot of behind-the-scenes healing. How to enjoy sweet potatoes: bake them whole and top with cinnamon and a little olive oil. Mash them with garlic and herbs. As a side dish, roast them into wedges for a satisfying low-glycemic dinner fare, also easy to digest, which makes them perfect for an evening meal that won't bloat or irritate your gut. And because sweet potatoes are naturally comforting, they support your nervous system as well, helping the body wind down gently before sleep. You might think of them as just a holiday food, but eating sweet potatoes a few times a week can make a real difference in how your body manages fluid, sodium, and rest. They're warm, they're healing, and for many seniors, they're the missing piece in the puzzle of better sleep. Now, let's finish strong with a leafy green that connects everything we've talked about, from the gut to the bladder to the immune system and beyond. Let's talk about kale. We've talked about hydration. We've talked about blood sugar, inflammation, and bladder lining. Now it's time to tie it all together with one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables on the planet, kale. Yes, kale has a strong flavor, but its health benefits are even stronger, especially for the systems that control your digestion, immunity, and urination. What makes kale so special? First, it's packed with vitamins A, C, and K, all of which help maintain healthy tissues, including the delicate lining of the urinary tract. But more importantly, kale contains a powerful plant compound called quercetin. Quercetin is a flavonoid that's been studied for its ability to reduce oxidative stress, balance the immune system, and protect the kidneys and bladder. A study published in Molecules 2021 highlighted quercetin's ability to modulate inflammatory pathways in bladder cells, reducing irritation and calming overactive nerve signals that can lead to nocturia and urgency. And that's just the beginning. Kale also plays a key role in the gut bladder axis, a concept gaining more and more attention. In geriatric medicine, the gut-bladder axis refers to the two-way communication between your digestive system and your urinary tract. In simple terms, when your gut is imbalanced, say from a lack of fiber, poor microbiome health, or inflammation, it can send distress signals to your bladder, leading to more urgency, irritation, and frequent urination. A review in the International Gynecology Journal 2020 found a strong correlation between gut dysbiosis and urinary tract symptoms in older adults, especially women. So how does kale help? Kale is extremely rich in fiber, which feeds your good gut bacteria and helps maintain a balanced microbiome. A healthy microbiome, in turn, reduces inflammation system-wide, including in the bladder and kidneys. Kale also contains glucosinolates, compounds that, when broken down, form isothiocyanates, molecules that help detoxify the liver and reduce systemic inflammation. And because kale is low in oxalates, unlike spinach, which is high, it's a good leafy green for seniors prone to kidney stones. How can you make kale work for you? Massage it with lemon juice and olive oil to soften the texture. Saute it with garlic, onions, and chickpeas. Add a handful to smoothies with banana and chia, or mix it into soups, stews, or scrambled eggs. Massaging kale breaks down its tough fibers, making it easier to chew, digest, and absorb nutrients. Pro tip: pair kale with a source of healthy fat like avocado or olive oil. To boost the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins A and K, kale might seem trendy, but it's actually a traditional healing food with deep roots in functional nutrition and senior wellness. Its ability to link digestion, immunity, and bladder health makes it a true multitasker, especially for older adults dealing with multiple low-grade symptoms that disrupt sleep and quality of life. So don't let the bitterness fool you. Kale is a bittersweet remedy for nighttime urination, gut imbalance, and chronic inflammation. And now that you've met all 7 vegetables, let's bring it all together and close with what really matters: simple action, consistent habits, and a better night's sleep naturally. You've just met 7 vegetables that don't just help you eat better, they help you sleep better. Each one supports your body in a different but connected way. Cucumber helps you hydrate the right way during the day, so your kidneys can rest at night. Zucchini stabilizes blood sugar, so your bladder doesn't overreact while you sleep. Spinach brings magnesium, calming the nerves and muscles that control urgency. Broccoli fights inflammation in the kidneys, bladder, and gut, quieting signals that keep you up. Carrots rebuild and protect your bladder lining, so your body stops sending false alarms. Sweet potatoes regulate fluid balance and sodium, preventing swelling that can trigger night urination. And kale connects it all, feeding your gut, supporting your immunity, and keeping your bladder in balance. These aren't miracle cures, but they're evidence-based tools backed by real science and used by real people to transform real lives. And here's the best part: you don't have to do everything at once. Start small. Add cucumber water to your afternoon routine. Swap your white rice for mashed sweet potato. Toss a handful of spinach into your eggs. Try sautéed kale once this week. Roast carrots with your dinner. Your bladder won't change overnight, but your body is always listening. And when you feed it the right signals, you'll start to feel it. Fewer bathroom trips, deeper rest, more energy in the morning, less stress at night, and a quiet, confident sense that maybe your body isn't broken. Maybe it just needed the right support, Tell us in the comments, which of these vegetables do you already eat? And which one are you excited to try this week? Like this video if you learned something new. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next health tip. And share this with someone who deserves better sleep. Here at Longevity with Quality, we believe in simple science-backed steps that help you feel stronger, clearer, and calmer at every stage of life. You deserve deep, uninterrupted sleep. And sometimes it starts with what's on your plate. We'll see you in the next video. Take care and sleep well.